Okay, look, I'll just leave them as statics on the screen now. So I think you can get the gist of what I'm trying to get across is that modelling this crustal, the oceanic and continental geological information, this mapping, demonstrate that an expanding Earth is indeed viable. I came to a critical point in my research at this time. I could see that, hey, all this information said that yes, the Earth was expanding. So, but what happens to the various data sets that are now readily available, the crustal geology which we've dealt with, the ancient magnetic poles, the location of the poles, the ancient geography, the ancient climate, and also we'll then allude to mechanisms for expansion. When you plot this information on each of these globes, if this information doesn't work, well then I'm obviously wrong. As I found out, what I would have liked to have shown here is the development of Australia as an example of crustal geology. Australia, this is the location of Australia now. Moving back in time, Australia is actually located in the northern hemisphere. And it's also rotated in a north-south long axis. It's distinct from an east-west orientation at the moment. So the bulk of Australia is in the northern hemisphere. Perth is in high northern latitudes. The ancient equator runs through, say, Adelaide to the Northern Territory, and Queensland is just tucked down into the southern hemisphere. And that's where it stayed for 95% of Earth history. As we move forward in time, with the opening up of the ancient Pacific Ocean as well as the Indian Ocean, Australia then rotated and migrated south to its present location. Geographically and climate-wise, this is adequately substantiated, especially in West Australia, where we have extremely deeply weathered rocks. We have what's called laterites, which are a valuable source of aluminium and iron, which only occur in equatorial and tropical equatorial climates. Similarly, we have, overprinting that, we have a period of desertification. Most of Western Australia and Central Australia is now desert. So from that tropical environment, as we move south, we then steadily move into a desert environment, desert climate. Anita and I have just spent the past week travelling through the hinterland here, to nearly 2,000 kilometres, seeing your wonderful state, and through all these national parks and whatnot. The common theme, these palm trees and ferns and these ancient plant species, wherever they come from, why are they there? These indicate to me that that was a tropical climate, and that's precisely what this modelling is showing, that Australia, as well as those of you who've been to Alice Springs and say the Bungle Bungles, for instance, there's remnant palm trees in there which just should not be there. In plate tectonics, Australia is supposed to have been originated from near South Pole and migrated north, and is supposed to be still migrating north. So where have these palm trees come from? Here we have a situation where it started in the Northern Hemisphere, crosses the equator right at that moment in time when these species are evolving and becoming widespread, and then migrating south into a progressively more drier climate. So in these little niches, Alice Springs, Brisbane, Bungle Bungles, these niches of remnant tropical species. For those of you who have travelled in outback Western Australia, you also see pine trees and cypress pines, which are just totally alien to Australian climate and vegetation.